I've never felt this optimistic about the Chiefs in a long time. Last year, they took home the Super Bowl, defeating the San Francisco 49ers, and the year before, they triumphed over the Philadelphia Eagles. But what excites me the most about this team right now is their defense, arguably the best in the league. And to top it off, their offense is hitting its stride. A 29-point performance on the road against a desperate Steelers team on a short week was incredibly impressive. Xavier is quickly shaping up to be a future star, while Travis Kelce once again found the end zone. For the first time this season, the Chiefs are also getting rushing touchdowns, which is something they've been lacking. We saw Kareem Hunt make his way into the end zone, and just last week, Worthy did the same. Mahomes had a stellar performance with 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a perfect 29 of 38 passes, all while avoiding a sack. The offensive line is playing the best it has all year. Even though TJ Watt gave it his all, it just wasn't enough. He did manage to draw a holding penalty on the Chiefs' 4th-and-1 attempt, but overall the game was never in doubt. The Chiefs jumped to a 13-0 lead in the first quarter. While they didn't score in the second, they came out strong in the fourth, scoring 13 unanswered points. To win in the NFL, you've got to execute
in
well
that time,
all 4 quarters,
and this is crazy.
especially at the
Kareem
start
has
and
the
finish
most
of the
touches
game.
and scrimmage
The
yards
Chiefs
through a
did just
player's.
that. As for Russell Wilson, he struggled badly. His poor performance was a result of the Chiefs' relentless pressure. He was sacked 5 times and finished with a low 65.7 rating, throwing for only 205 yards on 37 attempts, averaging a mere 5.5 yards per pass. To put that into perspective, Mahomes averaged 8.4 yards per attempt. The Steelers did rush for 202 yards, but that's a misleading stat. With the Chiefs leading by a wide margin, the Steelers were just running the clock down, knowing they couldn't come back playing that way. I have to give credit to Steve Spagnuolo and the defense. They've been consistent all season, and it's clear they're getting the job done. As for the offense, it's significantly better than last year. The Chiefs are figuring out how to better utilize their weapons. Worthy continues to improve every week, catching 8 passes for 79 yards and a touchdown. Kelce also dominated, with 8 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown, shredding the Steelers' zone defense. You can't play zone against the Chiefs, and blitzing them doesn't work either. Mahomes is just too skilled at reading defenses and finding the open man. Justin Watson added 60 yards and a touchdown, with a big 49-yard reception, while Hollywood Brown chipped in with 46 yards. It might not sound like much, but every contribution counts. The Chiefs' offense continues to impress, especially with the addition of a receiver who's creating plenty of opportunities. While his speed might not always show up in the box score, it opens things up for other playmakers like Xavier, Travis Kelce, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Samaje Perine and DeAndre Hopkins also contributed, though Hopkins has been used sparingly this season. The Chiefs like what they have, and Hopkins only steps in for specific plays when needed. This team is overflowing with talent, and the 29-10 win over the Steelers is a perfect example. I'm honestly not sure what's more impressive, the 29 points the Chiefs scored or the fact that they held the Steelers to just 10. I understand the Chiefs haven't scored over 30 points all season, but that doesn't matter when they're winning consistently. With 15 wins, it's clear they don't need to score huge numbers. The key is keeping their opponents under 20 points, something the Chiefs are doing almost every game. As long as they maintain that defense, they'll win. When it comes to playoff contenders, I don't see the Ravens or Bills being able to beat this Chiefs team at home in Arrowhead. Josh Allen is fantastic and likely headed for an MVP, but his team has shown time and again that they can't quite get it done when it counts. The only team I think might challenge the Chiefs is the Bengals, but they're out of the playoffs this year. In fact, the Chiefs were the biggest winners today. By winning their game, they secured the number 1 seed and knocked the Bengals out of playoff contention. The Chiefs are now able to rest their starters ahead of their next game, which will take place in Denver. With the Bengals out, even if the Chargers lose their next 2 games, they still hold the tiebreaker over Cincinnati, so it doesn't matter. Kansas City's path to the playoffs looks smoother than ever, with the possibility of facing teams like the Steelers, Texans, or Ravens, none of whom seem capable of outmatching the Chiefs. It's clear that while these teams are good, they're not quite on the Chiefs' level. Kansas City's dominance on the road, with a 7-1 record, speaks volumes. Their only loss was to the 2nd-seeded Bills, a team with 14 wins, which is still incredibly impressive. The Chiefs' coaching staff, led by Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, and Steve Spagnuolo, has done an outstanding job. Now, with the playoffs looming, the Chiefs are in great shape. They'll get plenty of rest before the postseason, and for fans, it's a time to look forward to what's next. As a Colts fan myself, I'm used to not having much playoff hope, but this Chiefs team is something special. The Chiefs' next game will be against the Broncos in Week 18, but the exact date is still up in the air. It's likely to be sometime in the second week of January, so there's plenty of time for the team to rest and recover. Patrick Mahomes, for instance, will be able to rest his ankle, and Chris Jones, who didn't play today, will be back soon. Rashid Rice likely won't return in time for the playoffs, but Hollywood Brown has already made his comeback. The Chiefs are gearing up for what could be a historic push for their third consecutive Super Bowl title, a feat no team has ever accomplished in the history of the NFL. I'm really looking forward to the playoffs to see how this team performs. Last season, people questioned the Chiefs' offense, but they came through. This season, despite some doubts about their close games and whether they could secure the #1 seed, the Chiefs have proven themselves. They easily handled the Texans, Steelers, and Broncos, and now they don't even need to play in Week 18 with the #1 seed locked up. It's been an impressive journey. The only team that might have had a chance to beat the Chiefs in the AFC playoffs would have been the Bills, if they had secured the top spot. But now that the Chiefs have home field advantage, I just don't see any team, including the Bills, being able to stop them. The Chiefs' defense is playing at an elite level, consistently holding opponents under 20 points. On offense, they're putting up 24 to 29 points a game, and their offensive line has quietly been playing great. The best performance of the season came against Houston, and they did well again against Pittsburgh, giving Mahomes the time he needs to execute. Matt Nagy has been calling great plays, and Andy Reid's guidance is a big part of their success. The strategy has been to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands quickly, but we've also seen him take deep shots and succeed. If you're a Chiefs fan, there's plenty to be excited about. A 15-1 record after back-to-back Super Bowl victories is something special. As a Colts fan, I've seen my team face off against the Patriots Dynasty, so I know how hard it is to sustain success. But the Chiefs are doing something extraordinary. The competition has never been tougher with the likes of Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow playing at an elite level. While the NFC also has some great teams, the Chiefs are standing apart with their superior play. If you're placing a bet, the smart money is on Kansas City. We saw how ESPN analysts mostly picked the Texans to win their game. A huge mistake. When you have Patrick Mahomes, doubting the Chiefs is never a good idea. That's all I have for now. Happy holidays, and congratulations on another great win.